Hey everyone, welcome to the Moms Behind the Brand podcast with your host, Jasmine Swinton. Here we dive deep into the real stories of the visionaries, the innovators, the creators, the moms behind the brand. If you're ready to learn, grow, and be inspired to level up both your business and life, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to Moms Behind the Brand. I'm your host, Jasmine Swinton, and today we're in for a real treat. Today I'm joined by not one, but two incredible mompreneurs, Dwayna Williams and Donna Morris, the powerhouse twin sisters behind the TGND, or the Girls Next Door Consulting. They run a full-service PR agency, helping lifestyle brands elevate their presence and stand out through innovative strategies and PR magic. These ladies know firsthand the challenges of juggling multiple hats as moms and business owners, and they are here to share their inspiring story with us today. Welcome, Dwayna and Donna.
We are juggling today, as you guys see. I have the little one here. He is sick, but we are making it happen. Okay.
I know that's right. Well, we can go ahead and jump right into it. So tell us about TGND, how it came to life, what inspired you all to get in business together, and how you got started.
Yes. So we have been in business now for 8 years, which is crazy to think. Eight is a beautiful number. It has so many meanings, but we've been in business 8 years full time. Dwayne has been full time the whole time. I'm going into my third year full time into the business. So the pivot was very challenging to come into the business full time because I was still in corporate. You know, that stability we have with a corporate job or like the security and the paycheck, security and all this stuff that comes along with, having a 9 to 5. It was challenging to make that move, but we had several conversations that I was like, no, my twin sister needs me. We got to do this business. But we got started because we knew that there was truly a need for PR and brand image services together. So Dwayna was in the space. She graduated with her mass comm degree from NCCU. And once she graduated, about a year after, she started actually working in her field as a freelance PR publicist, junior publicist. And then she went from a junior publicist to a freelancer. And she was doing like a lot of great stuff, getting her clients featured. One of her clients specifically, she had got them featured on the news station in DC. And at this time, she was living in Atlanta, right? And great feature, right? But her client came on the show, and like the whole time, her bra strap was hanging out, right? So I messaged Dawn. I was like, Dawn, this interview is good, but I'm so distracted because I cannot focus because this lady's bra strap is just like out, right? Oh. And from there, like at that time, I was working at Nordstrom as a stylist, and I was also in school getting my becoming a certified image consultant. So I was like, wait, and outside of that, I also have a communication studies degree, but it was like, okay, wait, we need to go into business together, right? Because it's truly a need. A lot of people are the authorities in what they do, but they don't know how to show up, right? They don't know like the tools or the things put in place or what's important when you are showing up, like what looks good on camera, what doesn't look good on camera, what color should I be wearing, what color should I not be wearing, right? What's going to make my brand really cohesive and in alignment with how I want to be seen for my audience. So we knew from there that there was a true need for our services together. So that's when that's where TGND became, and we started our consulting agency from there.
I want to touch on something too, because I felt like the brand image piece was a really big piece, right? As far as how they're showing up on the interviews. But another thing that was something that me and Donna discussed is that you have all these great thought leaders and experts and authorities in their space, but we can't find like 10 years ago, you couldn't find them online. It's like, where's your website at? Where is your social media platform? Where is your professional headshot? Like I'm all these great pitches and story angles, and I have a blurry photo to accompany this great pitch that I have. That to me is like it's not aligning with the content that we're putting out there. So if we want to really be seen as these thought leaders and experts in our field, we really have to make sure we're not only incorporating how we are showing up physically, but our digital presence was a really thing too. It was like I either you didn't have a website, I couldn't get a professional photo from you, or it was I couldn't really tell what you did online based on your social media platform. It was like kind of all over the place. It was given, I mean, if you were a life coach, it was probably given woo-woo, right? And I think around that time when life coaches became like a thing, that was like probably like 10 years ago when the coaching realm was like, okay, people wanted to be coaches. And it's we need to see, we don't want it to like come off as woo-woo. We want it to come off as I'm a coach and this is what I'm doing. And if you want to be woo-woo and you have those type of people there, then great. But we want it to seem like it's just something that is, because we all need coaches. We don't want it to make it seem like it's this kind of weird thing that people are doing, right? So just making sure like cohesively you're showing up how you really want to be seen, not just speaking it, but when the strategies there for your digital presence, able to align your physical presence with what you're speaking. So that was like something that was truly missing.
Yes. So what we do is we offer the brand imaging and strategy for women-owned businesses, lifestyle brands, higher education, and mompreneurs.
So it's always fascinating to hear about the story and how you got started. Like, what were some of the challenges? So you were able to identify, hey, this is the thing, but now what are the challenges to put these strategies into place?
Oh my goodness. First challenge we had was, okay, it was like me leaving corporate was the first challenge as a family-owned business. It was like, I kept putting off, I'm like, okay, Dwayna, give me 6 more months. Next year, it was like, girl, 3 years and went by. She was like, girl, when are you leaving? Like, what are you doing? And it's like, girl, I'm praying to God. It's not the right time. Give me another year. And it was like, I just finally had to take the step out on faith. So that was very challenging for me. And that was something that was after once we started like ramping up and growing, getting momentum within our business. So it was like, I can't keep doing this by myself. It's like, I need you. So that was one of the first challenges we had. And then when I came into the business, us working cohesively together. So we teach about cohesive brands, but we and Dwayna, we've always been together, but we've never worked together. So it was like, she's very analytical. I'm a creative. So I'm like, okay, A, C, D, E. She's like, no, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like, girl, no.
Stay with me. A, B,
right.
I realized how anal I was, but I'm like, no. And I think too, because I'm creative and analytical, but I feel like the older I get, the more the analytical part is coming out of me. To where it's like, I'm like literally like, no, it has to be A, B, C, D. And girl, it doesn't have to be A, B, C, D as long as you get to Z. Like as long as you get to Z, that's that, you know. And so that's one of the things we had challenges with. We had to hire on a coach. We had to hire on a coach to come in and really kind of tell us things we already knew that we were already talking about, but we needed it to come from somebody else. And so we did 2 things. One of the things we did, because we realized we weren't like, as I mentioned, I was telling Donna, like, girl, I need you in this business. What is happening? Like, come on. So I felt like I was taking on the 100% of the responsibility, right? So when Donna came in, it was like, where do I fit in here? Like, where am I truly supposed to fit in? Like I'm a co-founder, but I don't see it. I don't feel it. And I was just like, well, you will feel it if this. And it was just like, girl. So we ended up hiring on, we did a consultation with a HR person. Okay. And she was, by the time we finished that consultation, I think we paid like $100 for the consultation for an hour of her time. And or 50, one of them. It was a really decent price, and we was like, we just need to do this, like, because I came to the point to where we started investing into hiring on contractors to bringing people into business, because again, I was like, I can't do this by myself anymore. So that was my mindset. It was like, we need to hire people on. If we can't get something if we can't figure it out together, let's hire somebody on to figure it out with us. And we did that. When we left that call, she was like, you guys need therapy.
I don't need HR, you need therapy.
And we were like, what? But no, we had some mindset stuff to really work on. We did. So what we did after that was we invested and we spent a couple thousand and we restructured our entire business. We had a VIP day with basically somebody that was like in operations, and we literally basically restructured our business from top to bottom. What we offer, our roles, how we're showing up in the business, where our gifts are. What we don't want to do anymore, what we do want to do, what we want to keep doing, really where we shine at. And we literally sat there all day with our 2 boys, because we only had the 2 boys at the time, the oldest. They was there all day with us. Even my nephew walked into a glass wall. He was so delirious tired, but we did it. And And that from that meeting, we went up from there. Everything changed, and it's crazy because Donna didn't even want to invest in that meeting.
We can't afford it. We can't afford it. That's cutting into our budget.
Doing it because if we don't, what's gonna happen? So we doing it, and we were really glad that we did. So the challenges were us getting on the same page. When Donna finally came into business after 5 years, it was more so like, okay, where do I truly fit in? Because you created this business, we created it together, but Dwayna, you've been doing the work for the 5 years. And it didn't really seem like I fit in. So we had to really get an understanding of like where our gifts was, how we need to be showing up for each other, how we need to be showing up for the business. And one of the things that we also did, because everything was in one communication, we had to start separating our communication. So we talking about work? Is this sister Donna coming to me? Or is this work Donna? And we had to really decipher, and we had to separate the communication. So we can't be like mixing up personal and work conversation in this text thread. So let's get Slack. We started incorporating things in our business, like, okay, Slack is like talking about business, we're gonna use it, we're gonna put it in Slack. And we had to kind of, sometimes we would, be texting each other because we forgot, we would forget. And then we was like, okay, wait, let's go back to Slack. So we started incorporating different tools and strategies in our business to really make it more professional and less to where it was like we're twins in business, we're just running a business. No, we actually running a business. We have structure as a business and things of that nature.
So the greatest thing there is business will expose where you do need therapy and you need self-development. And it's a great thing, right? Because you needed it already. You needed it already. But to actually operate the way you need to, and at least you all have each other. Did you by yourself? You're like, okay, so let me start from this coach. And I do find that sometimes I'll go into multiple coaching opportunities to find, okay, let me get this right and let me get this right. So that's awesome that y'all went ahead and made that investment. How long into Donna leaving her 9 to 5 did you all take to go from, okay, we need help, to taking action?
It was like 6 months, maybe.
Okay.
It was quick. Yeah, we realized
or maybe 4 months. I don't think it was that long.
It was like 3 months. Me and Donna realized, because one of the things that is great about me and Donna's relationship, we've always been able to communicate with each other. So I think that was one of the things that we were always able to do that. So it wasn't something that we were able to have the conversations that needed to be had. And we realized, okay, if we want this to work, we're gonna have to figure it out. Yeah. And for me, I'm more of like I'm a solution-based person. I'm not heavy on the problem, I'm heavy on the solution. What are we doing to fix it? So I'm like, okay, this is the solution I got. And we hired on a coach that I actually met from a personal friend. And I connected with her at a social outing. I have the perfect person. Let's go ahead and bring her in. She was perfect for what we needed her for at that moment. And I think the VIP day was really beneficial, but it didn't take us long at all. We realized that it needed to happen. And because I was operating the business for the first 5 years by myself, we knew that we've already been in business for this long. We knew it needed to happen. And because a lot of the things that we knew we needed to do, we were kind of going back and forth about it. And once we brought the person in, it was like, oh, we already knew this. She probably had some additional layers, but it's always better coming from somebody else.
True. And it helps you with implementation and to get that framework of how you can go from where you are and even see that roadmap kind of clearly. From where I am today to where I want to go, what are these action steps that I can take, and then do it together. So being in PR and branding, when it comes to like your secret sauce and helping the clients actually get that same A to B, A to Z, A, B, C, D in order, how does that work between you and Brandon, Donna, and then Dwayna on your side with the PR?
Yeah, so one of the things that we like to do when we bring clients on is we take them through a process. And the first thing we do the first 30 days is really making sure the brand is cohesive. So making sure that you have the proper marketing and PR collateral that we need in order to have a successful campaign. So that on the beginning end, and I do a lot when it comes to I'm getting into like my branding bag. I've been like self-taught Canva graphic person, and it's really I've been doing my thing, and I've actually been really enjoying it. But one of the things that we do as a company, we do everything in-house. So when it comes to creating your electronic media kits, when it comes to setting up the photo shoot and managing it from start to finish and being a creative director. So the first 30 days looks like us creating the collateral that we need in order to have a successful campaign. So Donna is coming in and she's consulting with them on their brand, their style, really understanding their brand colors and how what words infuse with that and how we can incorporate their brand colors and the different words that or emotions that it gives to how you need to be showing up physically, or the things that you need to have in your photo shoots and your brand photos to exude physically what it is that you're putting out there. So Donna could manage a photo shoot and be a creative director for a photo shoot, and I see a photo and I can know exactly what that person does based on this one photo. It's like I don't need to be guessing and scratching my head. It's like one of the things that we came about somebody that had some brand photos, right? And they had a whole bunch of, it was like something in their photos and it had nothing to do with it, what it is that they did. I was thinking they was a whole different type of thought leader or expert authority. And she was like, oh, yeah, I don't even really know why I have that in the photo.
She's an accountant. She's an accountant.
What was it, Donna? Do you remember?
And she had a stack of books. Like she had a stack of books. It was like one of her props, and it was something else. And I'm like, wait, is she a librarian? Does she like to read? Like she didn't like to read. It was giving off the wrong message.
Yeah, so just making sure like the messaging and the collateral and content is great and put together for the first 30 days. And then after those first 30 days, and we were able to create that cohesiveness, then we start to put together the actually implementation from the strategy that we create and the branding the brand images and that we've been able to create from that. So we go from the first 30 days of creating the strategy, crafting your brand, crafting the images, all of the great things as far as imagery goes for your brand. And then the next phase is us really implementing that, learning more about who you are, because I feel like the first 3 months, we're really understanding and learning the client, right? Because even though we may have worked with somebody that's in your same industry, everybody is unique and different. You'll have your own unique selling proposition. There may be 1,000 other coaches, but your service is different from the other coach. And how is that different? So we take those first 3 months to truly learn the client, the uniqueness of the client, and how we can really pitch and kind of like make them stand out above the rest. And our strategy, our campaigns goes for about 6 months to 12 months. We've had some clients that we worked with for PR over the course of 2 years. PR is a place to where we're really building momentum, it's building brand awareness and building brand visibility. So things don't happen overnight when it comes to PR. So it was literally like we're crafting the strategy, implementing it, and then also re-strategizing as we go through that phase, because it may look like we have to pivot based on something that's trending, maybe something that's in the news, or maybe the media is covering something else or into something else at the time because something happened. So just for example, when COVID happened, right? George Floyd died. We wouldn't be sitting here pitching clients about certain stuff. And it's like, that's not what first of all, it's national news that George Floyd died and we're in COVID. Who cares about anything else?
Right. Like we're not talking fashion right now.
Right. So truly understanding. So we may have to even pivot through that process and truly understanding what the industry is looking for, what the market needs right now, what they want to hear, what we should be sharing with them, and how we truly can align your thought leadership with what's happening in the world today. That's really the key. So it's really a process over a course of minimum 6 months to, people have publicists for multiple years, but really if you want to see trajectory and a growth in your PR strategies, at least invest in 6 months to 2 years, and building that strategy is very key.
So that's what I was going to ask about the time frame. So if it's 90 days that it takes to really get to know your client, the next 90 days, so the first 2 quarters are really like get to know you, and now we're like putting it all into action, pitching and doing all of the activities.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to getting your clients on NBC, Fox, and all the different features, like what is that process like?
Yeah.
So when you can talk more about that, but it's PR. I don't think people realize like the labor, like the manual hours that go behind PR, right? Because not only do you have to create pitches, right? You have to create a pitch. You have to get aligned with, okay, what are the best platforms for my client to be seen on, right? What's going to really align with their goals and the vision of what we're trying to do in the PR campaign. And with that, it's like, okay, I have to now, if there's like contacts or things that we don't have, which most PR publicist companies, they already have their, their contacts and people they reach out to. We got to network with more journalists, right? That's time consuming, right? Creating that, sending out the pitches. Like you can send out 100 pitches and you might get 2 responses, right? And especially now in the PR world, it's like very competitive. It's like very competitive because
newsrooms are closing. With AI being incorporated, so many things is changing in the media landscape. There's so many things happening in the economy, and in the news. Is like, so a lot of things is changing when it comes to media as well. But when it comes to, and let me make sure I think, Donna, I was kind of piggyback off what you said, and I lost the question. So if you can ask me the question one more time.
So really, just what's the process of getting on the different platforms, especially the large platforms? I know the local platforms are fairly easier to get onto, but those bigger platforms, it takes a little bit more work.
Yeah. So one of the, I think that it all takes work, right? And I say that because whether or not you're getting featured on a local TV station, which may seem a little bit more easier to some people, but you're on TV. So if you haven't been on TV before, your story got to really be key. Your brand has to really be on point for somebody to be like, I've never seen you speak before, but you're gonna come on my segment to speak on a live TV, because local TV is live. Okay, it's not pre-recorded, so you're seeing everything, and like as they're doing it. So the process really looks like us figuring out the heart of your story, right? Figuring out what's going to make your story the most compelling, right? So that may look like us going through your life experiences and really honing in your journey from childhood on up to where you are today. And one of the things that we do with our clients is we have actually a workshop as well, to where we help you craft your story, because a lot of people realize that they think they're telling a story, and there's so many different experiences and journeys that they had in life that is missing from the key story. So really understanding your story and understanding your experiences of how it led to where you are today. And I'm gonna give you an example. I grab my charger. I thought I brought it over here. I have to grab my charger, but I'm gonna give an example of understanding your story. And I want to give this example because me and Donna did this for ourselves as well, to where we realized we've been storytellers our whole lives. We just didn't know it, right? This has been a passion and purpose of ours for the longest.
Yeah.
So our story started way before we knew it. Like we used to go to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army changed our lives, okay? And we say that because we came from a low income house. My mother had 5 kids, right? She was a single mom for a period of time, and we've had some childhood traumas, okay? And the Salvation Army came in our lives at a place in time to where we really needed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we joined the Salvation Army, we were just so excited. We were so excited. We were some of the first kids to really join that corps. They was trying to rebuild the corps, right? And in the process of rebuilding, me and Donna would go out with the corps leaders, knocking door to door to the different local neighborhoods, sharing our stories and experiences of being at the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And we did that for weeks, and we rebuilt the whole entire corps to where we had kids. We basically had a whole basketball team. We had a cheerleading squad. We had a choir. We basically rebuilt the corps to where all the kids in the community was a part of the church because of us knocking door to door and sharing the stories about what we experienced at the Salvation Army. Yeah. And we rebuilt the entire corps to where now we are showing up at Christian camp our East Orange core is like repping and we represent, and it was like the best. Like we had so many great experiences, and our core, our East Orange core, was a core that the leaders in the Salvation Army talked about all the time.
Yeah.
It was like we literally did the thing to where we had so many kids like in tune with God, in tune with their spirit, wanting to be at church, wanting to be at Boys and Girls Club, wanting to learn about God on a daily. Okay. And that was like, that's where it started. That's where our journey started. And we didn't even realize that's where you wanted to really spread awareness and visibility. That's where it started at. And it's something that came naturally to us, but we just didn't know it. And that's a part of our journey. So speaking about how your different life experiences plays a role in how you're showing up and who you are today, that's a great example. And sometimes people wouldn't even be able to pull that out, from like share that with people as far as that being a part of your story. They were like, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that then. So we really consult our clients on understanding their story, truly understanding the story.
I know you said you have like a workshop. Is that where you start your clients for that first 90 days with you?
Yeah. So where we start, so we have different levels to our services. So our PR clients are going to be, they're going to start off a little bit different than someone who's like booking us for the consulting side of like brand strategy, right? And the explanation for that, and I'm sorry guys, my toddler here is teething today, bear with me. But okay, yeah, so with that experience, so it depends on what our client has a service for. When it comes to the PR, they're not going to start at the workshop level. They've already done like most of the breakthrough work to be seen, to start being pitched. So we realized we take our clients through different experiences, right? We might have our clients who have to start at the breakthrough. At the breakthrough, that's the client that's going to need the workshop, maybe some of our other digital products.
Not the breakthrough, Donna. The breakthrough is the final. Start at mindset. Mindset. Yes, mindset. Mindset is going to start, right? And then we've also created a group for mompreneurs. I know you work with a lot of mompreneurs too, Jasmine, and we created a community to where women who are doing what we're doing need the resources. So that's another aspect of the start for that person who needs to start with the mindset, right? And then when we are actually providing our clients with PR services, it's really building the momentum for us to get to know who, like a little bit better, who they are, what they do. Of course, before they become a client, we vetted them, we've done research, but it's like really get into the core and the nitty gritty. With our clients too, we like to have like strategy calls, checking calls with our clients. So when we first onboard them, we're going to be on calls. You set up monthly calls, they're hour. We give them access to booking like additional calls if they need to, for us to like pick through questions or if they need advice on something. So we try to be a complete resource for our clients, whether it's through the PR services that we're doing for them or the community relations side of PR as well, like making sure that they have the complete totality of who they are at the core and how their brand needs to be positioned out in the media or in the digital world. And Dwayna, did you want to add anything to that? I got the baby over here cry. I am over here on and off the camera, but listen, we are doing it. Yeah, I want to
hashtag moms behind the brand. We don't even do that because anytime Amari can be running by and just having a fit. So no,
Lord, trying to get my charger in. I thought I had it. Yeah, but it's just one of those days. But it's moms behind the brand. This is how it goes sometimes, guys. Yes. I want to add like the process. So one of the things you have to understand when you're ready for PR, right? And we don't want people to truly invest into a monthly retainer until you're ready. So the like Donna mentioned, the workshop is more so for you to understand how to necessarily understand PR, right? How to understand your own story, how to be able to pull that out, kind of how to DIY some of the PR things. And I think it's really important for those people that are high end on PR managers and publicists to understand PR because a lot of people don't. A lot of people think it's marketing. A lot of people think
is like an automatic return. PR is not a return ROI. It's not an ROI equated to PR. What you're going to get out of it is an increase in brand awareness, an increase in brand visibility and opportunities. I'm not saying that because I got you featured on Tom Joyner Morning Show that you're gonna have 1,000 sales. We don't do that as publicists, right? And anybody that's doing that, that's not PR, that's marketing. PR is a part of your marketing funnel, but that's advertising. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna get this feature for you and you're gonna get 1,000 hits. That's advertising. So truly understanding the difference, I think that's really important. But you need to know the difference when you're hiring on a team. And that's one of the things that we've realized that has been a misconception or a myth or something that we had a challenge with as we even bring our clients to do monthly retainers with, which is why we created the workshop, because we realized some people is not ready for monthly retainers and they don't truly understand what all goes into the process. So how about we teach them how to DIY it so they can do it themselves, maybe understand it better, try to do it themselves, and then realize that they need a team to do it, right? Yeah. But essentially the workshop is literally for those people that are looking to understand their story better, looking to DIY some of the PR stuff that necessarily aren't ready for a PR retainer. For the people that are ready for a PR retainer are a little bit more seasoned, are a little bit more they are clearer on their story. They 9 times out of 10 may already have a cohesive brand. If they aren't showing up on social media and don't have a website, we're actually signing them on to create that. So a client that necessarily wasn't ready digitally because he didn't have a website, he wasn't really on social media, but he had 30, 40 years of experience in real estate, right? So we want to take on that client. He already understood that if we take you on as a client, you have to have a website, you have to have social media platforms. So this has to be something you invest in, and this has to be something we work on, and we can actually manage this for you, but you have to be able to invest in it. And he did, right? So you have to be willing to invest into PR, but also you have to be ready for PR. Everybody isn't ready for PR. If you don't have a website, please do not come to me saying that you want me to pitch you to Oprah. Everybody wants to be seen on Oprah, or everybody wants to be on a Today Show. You don't even have a website. What are we talking about? Right. Right. So it's like truly, so the workshop is for like the beginner status, or if you want to DIY some of the things yourself, or you want to know how to really pull out your story, incorporate your story, DIY your brand photo shoots and things of that nature. And then the retainer services is more so for the people that are actually more seasoned, have a little bit more things prepared within their marketing strategy, are clear on their goals and tactics and things of that nature.
That's really powerful. It gives people an entry point at any level.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, and I know you all call yourselves, I think it was Donna I saw from the bio that says Mommy Hustler. What does that actually look like? Because I know TGND isn't actually the only brand that you all have individually or together. So what does that look like, especially, of course, being moms, being wives? What does it look like to be a multi-preneur?
It is. We just talking about challenges. It is challenging, okay? Wearing the many hats. It's like for us millennials, like most of us that look like us, melanated women, we really didn't have examples, right? There's some of us who had examples of like moms being entrepreneurs, or having a family and a mom and a dad in the house. So but it's like we are generational breakers over here, okay? And that's going to add another layer to it now. Because we are breaking these generational curses, and it's in our DNA. Like we have to do it. God gave us the gifts to do so. So it has been very challenging, and I say that because there are days like today where you see Dwayna has her child right there on her chest. Mine is literally I'm breastfeeding right now on this call, but you can't tell. That's why I got my camera off. But it's like I gotta do this.
Know though. Us
right.
mothers, we know. we know.
Moms do get it, right? And it's like we have to juggle so much. We wear so many hats, and it's like, where do we get all the time to do it, right? And it's like, I feel like the most challenging part is especially when you haven't fully like done the mindset work and like really mastered mindfulness. it can become very challenging because it's like nonstop. It's like you wake up, like for example, my day today is super packed, super busy. Woke up, uh, checked some emails, right? Son had a doctor's appointment this morning, had two introduction calls, had this podcast. After I leave this podcast, I got to go to a parent teacher conference, right? After the parent teacher conference, I got to take my 6-year-old to the dentist, right? And it's like, this is the day. And it's like constant. And it's like, I still got to get back here and catch up on some work as well. So it's like trying to figure out, how are your days going to flow? What do your days look like? Extending yourself grace, right? Grace is the word, because it's like, girl, every day is not going to be peaches and cream. Me and Dwayna was just literally talking about how it's like, really, we are very like, okay, we when we have our mindset to do something, we're going to do it. But it's like, we realize that stresses us out too. It's like, okay, girl, if for example, with Dwayna, if your son is sick today, be okay with checking 1, 2, 3 things off your list. Why do you have a list of 6 things when the main job is right here in front of you, in your hands, right? And it's like, just being okay with extending grace and being realistic with ourselves. Mm-hmm. I've also incorporated therapy in my life, and it's like, my therapist therapy is amazing. We need to do it, just because since COVID, life has just been life is always life for me and Dwayna, but since COVID and becoming an adult, it's like, it's real, right? And it's like, knowing that we are in control of the life we want to create for ourselves, knowing that it can be challenging because it's like, no, I want to do this. I see people doing that. And me and Dwayna, the good thing, we're not really people who look at what other people are doing, but it's like, no, like, I'm not trying to be Oprah, but I want to get to that next level. Like, I have things, I got a life I want to create for myself and my family. And I know these are the steps to take to get there, but why is it so challenging? Right. And just really knowing that we are in control of the life we want to create, whether it's being fully present moms or being present moms and running the business. Like, we can do all of the things, but it can become very challenging. And I know I said a lot, Wayna, but I'm sure you have some.
Yeah, so it's like a couple of things I want to piggyback off of. And Jasmine, you had mentioned this earlier too, about the journey of like the spiritual journey of entrepreneurship. And this whole, like, you cannot be an entrepreneur and not have your spirit, right? Because it's going to take your spirit for a ride, okay?
You're going to get rocked up, down.
Listen, so if you don't got that spirit right, trust me, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, it's going to come out. You want to know, you got some healing to do, okay? Mm-hmm. And because like the ebbs and the flows of it, and you see so many glamorous things online, and it's not all glitter, it's not all sunshine and rainbows and glitter and gold. There's a lot of work that goes into this, right? And there's a lot of lows. There's more lows than highs for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't say that, right? And there you may have a week that you're up and the next week you're down. It's a lot of different ups and downs that you have to be able to maneuver. So you have to be able to understand your emotions and be able to really cope with those emotions and deal with them and to understand them and to flow with them, and not just like, because you could really experience burnout. You just don't want to keep those emotions in and the things that you're experiencing in this journey. So therapy is a big thing for Donna. Life coaching is a big thing for. I've had 3 life coaches since I've been an entrepreneur, and it has been amazing. Okay, God is amazing, and God has been on this spiritual journey with me for this past couple of years, and He has taken me for a ride. But when I tell you that book of life, that Bible, has been my best friend over the course of this past month. Okay, I typically would do the Bible app. That's been my life for forever, but this past month I've been in my physical Bible. Okay, and it's a difference. And it's a difference. And one of the things that I wanted to just touch base on, you mentioned something about us, being moms and having the multiple different brands. Speaking of scriptures, Ecclesiastes, I think I'm saying it wrong. Ecclesiastes. I was reading that last week, and I was actually sharing this with Donna, because one of the things that we're doing is we're incorporating more God into our business, more of the spiritual things. Like Mondays, when we get off our Monday meetings to talk about the week, what verse are we focusing on this week? What story? We focus on Abraham, Paul, who are we focusing on? And in Ecclesiastes, what I read was, And this is something that I believe we all are struggling with, as we're all small businesses are slow this year, right? Whether you made $1 million last year, you ain't making a million, you may not make $1 million this year. You may have made multiple millions last year. You may have only made 2 or 1 million this year. Everybody is struggling. Whether you had a great year or not, it's still less than what you've previously experienced. And I've been seeing the stories, I've been hearing entrepreneurs talk about it. So I know that that's the common theme, right? But what I'm trying to say is, in that scripture I read, it talked about investing into 7 streams of income. 7. Now, this Bible was written when?
Hello.
It said this is the playbook of life. It tells us to invest in 7 streams and say yes in 8. And it's like we're over here trying to really figure out, okay, what am I doing? How am I showing up? Where is this revenue gonna come from? When the business is slow, what am I gonna do now? Like life is life and billing. And it's like, where's your 7 streams? Where's your 7, 8 streams that you
What's
say, yeah?
really good about that is you mentioned before that when you get your clients onto the different platforms, it might not be the season for one conversation. So that doesn't mean that your target audience necessarily changes. That just
Mhm.
means that you may have to tap into a different level of business. So where my
Mhm.
self-development business is, this is the time for that right now, but Moms Behind the Brand or Essential Associates is not the one that is moving right this second.
Right.
However, people are trying to figure out how I can get my mind right so I can
Right.
even get into the next step and phase of
Yes.
life. So you're
Yes.
absolutely right when it comes to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons. I'm sorry, Winner. Go ahead.
Truly being able to understand your gifts and align those gifts with how but it says we're supposed to invest in 7, and we trying to figure out why we can't get, pay, why we robbing Peter to pay Paul, or why we can't get this off the ground, or why we can't do that. And it's like, you're not even going by the book.
Oof.
Like, you're not going by the book. So really understanding your gifts as an entrepreneur, even if you're thinking about starting a business and you're not truly understanding like how to do that or where should I even start, what are your gifts? What are you good at? What did God bless you with? I know you got at
Mhm.
least 2 of them, maybe even
Mhm.
3. We all do.
And
And you
hidden
Mhm.
in there is like 2 or 3 things that you can do to extract cash flow
right,
Right.
for
right,
each of them.
right.
Yep.
And so, like the example you gave with us, we have TGND. Through our journey of entrepreneurs, we birthed Mommy Hustle. From that, from being an entrepreneur and a mompreneur, I was able to create a children's book from being able to be here with my son and do play pretend. Right.
Mhm.
So there's like so many different added layers. Like even the podcast is going to be a new stream, right, for us. Like from the
Mhm.
live streams and being on other people's podcasts. Now we're going to create our own podcast. So like there's opportunities and things there. And I know one of the things that we could probably say as African American community is like, where's the money coming from? Because we don't, a lot of us are pulling dollars out of nowhere to start a
Mhm.
business, right? We don't have it because we didn't have parents to invest. We didn't have grandparents. We didn't have money sitting there. Um, no, understand your gifts and work on it. Sow your seeds in a day. Don't be idle. And that's one of the other scriptures. Sow your seeds in the morning. Do not be idle in the evening. So if you have to sow your seeds and work for somebody else full time in the day, you ain't showing up with no energy in the evening. Put them gifts to use and go ahead and create those 7, 8 streams. So I just wanted to share that.
Mhm.
I've really been in my physical Bible and I've been feeling good about some of the stuff I've been reading, but I had to share that because I know we all can be experiencing the ebbs and flows of business, especially as moms. We got so many different hats, and really understanding our gifts and being able to align those gifts with how we're showing up and what we can invest in. Even when it comes to us being moms, you see all the moms, the stay-at-home moms that are becoming content creators.
Yep. It's a
Mhm.
story every day. There's always something funny happening, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not. That food that's spilled all over the floor, or you thought you were about to create some content in this outfit, and the food spilled on you. So
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
it's
it's
one of those
like,
can't stop, won't stop when it comes to business. How are you ladies working through your self care? I know that's like a buzzword right now, but what does that look like for you?
Yeah. So starting off, we've been making self care starts with us. Like, so we're really pouring back into ourselves. The main thing right now is spirituality. We're getting that intact and right, like getting it in alignment, because we know that it is needed. It's needed, right? So that's where we're starting with self-care. For me, and for me, I'm more so of like a girly girl. So like for me, like another thing that's self-care for me is like I don't get much time to myself, but one thing we're gonna do is get these nails done. Okay. I'm gonna go to the if I gotta go to the nail salon with this baby and baby harness, we're gonna get these nails done and we're gonna figure it out, right? So that's self-care. Or like we've been incorporating like walks now with the kids, taking the afternoon stroll, or even throughout the day, like we might need to just get in the car and go pick up a coffee. That's self-care for us. We are Starbucks girls, okay? Coffee is self-care over here in these streets. These mommy streets are real and we be exhausted. So self-care. Or reading. We Dwayna started reading. She can tell you a bit more about the what she's reading, but I have a book called Traction, and then I also have this other book that I'm reading for our marriage. Me and Dwayna bought the book together. We were supposed to do like a book club, me, her, and another friend, but it's like, okay, we know life with life and schedules are different. Let's just get the books and read them, right? So like reading, we were trying to incorporate that back into our lives for self-care. Honestly, we as moms, we can get so lost in motherhood, being a wife, being business owners. We are taking the time to restructure our self-care because we realize transparently speaking, it has been lacking the self-care for ourselves. Me and Dwayna, we are the type of people who we pour into so many other people's cups. Like outside of the family we created, we are 2 of 5 girls that my mom had, right? We also have other siblings, but we're constantly pouring into somebody else's cup. As Dwayna was telling you, like that's the gift God gave us. But we realize like we have to set boundaries with those. So that's another form of self-care. We're setting boundaries out here in these streets.
And I don't even care. I was like, I came to the point to where it's like, girl, you want to be in somebody's hospital bed on a floor somewhere. And I don't care about if you don't like the boundary, if it's upset you, if you feel like it should be something. Deal with God about it. Like talk to God about it. It ain't my problem, it's yours. And that's literally been one of the ways I've been able to maneuver and kind of like preserve my energy, because there's been plenty of times to where I've experienced burnout. And one thing after losing my grandmother, this summer I realized I was in an extreme place of burnout. And like in order to kind of prevent that, you have to be able to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. You have to have it, especially I feel like just as a mom in general, you need to have boundaries, how you should for yourself, for your kids, for how you want to just, I don't know, be treated in life. Because I feel like too, when it comes to just having your village, you have to have boundaries with them, but you need a village. And that's one of the things as far as self-care that I'm trying to do more with, because that's something that me and my life coaches have been talking about for the past 3 years, and I have not been taking it serious. I live out in Atlanta. My side of the family doesn't live in Georgia. So everything is like on me when it comes to the kids and things of that nature, or me trying to build my village. So that's been a challenge for me, transparently speaking. Like understanding if I have a village here, if it's just my kids' village, how do I go about creating a village? How do I go about trusting people? So really understanding like that one, it takes a village, and it takes a village for you to be the best version of yourself and to not experience burnout, because that's something that I've been experiencing. So I've been really, when it comes to self-care, I want to make sure that I'm utilizing whatever support that I have, whatever support my husband has, whatever support my kids has, whoever support it is, I don't care. Like I'm gonna use it. So and then just really being mindful of like, and then creating the village that I need in order to thrive in a space that where I want to be. It's like, Dwayna, yes, it's great to be with the kids all the time, and it's great to pour into them as much as you can, but who's pouring into you?
Right.
You gotta be able to pour into yourself. You gotta have other people pouring into you. You gotta be able, so really being able to create that village is one of the main things that I wanted to do for the remainder of the year. That's my focus, and that's going to be one of the ways that I put self-care first. Because now, if I'm truly creating the village, then I got more time to myself. I got more time to I got more time to read. I got more time to do whatever.
Well, you'll find
Yes.
too, once you all start your podcast, once you start your podcast, you'll find like these types of conversations, it turns into being able to easily tap into your community, and you find those that you are really aligned with and have
Yes.
those conversations like, hey, what you got going on? Oh, so you're in
Yes.
Atlanta, me too. So it turns into that support system and that building block. So for the aspiring mompreneurs that are like, okay, I really want to get started. I'm a
Mhm.
single mom. I'm a married mom. How do I get started? What do I do? What advice would you give them?
So the first advice I would give is get your spirit right, right? That's the first. Get the spirit right. Get the spirit right. Go to therapy, go to church, go somewhere. Get it right, get it intact. Practice and really practice mindfulness, because one of the things I realized too, in the journey of entrepreneurship, if you're not in tune with your mindfulness, and you're not really like the ebbs and the flows of entrepreneurship can really put you in this negative mindset, right? And nothing's going to get better in a negative mindset. Nothing. Your thought, like, it's like really being intentional about the what you're feeding your mind, but also what you're what do you call it, putting out, like the words you're putting out in your life, or things. Because like as a mompreneur, days, like as we mentioned, can get very challenging. And I remember there's days where I'd be like, I'm just so tired. And I just like, girl, why you keep saying you're tired? Say something else. Like, if you keep saying you're tired, of course you're going to be tired. You can feel
Right.
tired, but you don't have to keep saying
Manifestation.
it. Right. Or saying things like, we've been doing money affirmations, right? Instead of speaking negatively about money, like, dang, we just invested $6,000 is a lot of money into this event. We did a recent event, and it was like, no, we're going to invest into this event, and it's going to be an investment to our next blessing, right? Just like really like speaking, just being more mindful, and being just operating in your positive mind. It's super important.
Yeah. Um, I second that. I think that is like the most important thing, but also making sure that you are clear on the how. And it's like and know that you can't, like, no business or brand, or you can't do it alone, okay? Beyonce ain't doing it alone, Jay-Z ain't doing it alone. Nobody's doing it alone. And people want to say they want to have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. But listen, Beyonce has a team, okay? And
He
she built.
has 5 and 25x her time by hiring people. Period.
Yes.
So you cannot do it alone. So don't think that you're gonna do it, like you're gonna be hustling and bustling every day by yourself and you're gonna be the next Oprah. It's not gonna work that way. So know that you need a team to get to where you need to go, because you can't do it alone. And you need God. You need some type of, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Allah, whether you believe in the universe, the ground, the air. I don't. You believe in something, okay?
Not the
Believe.
ground, not the ground, not the ground, though.
Believe in something. Believe in something. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
the ground as in level, not belief, not beneath the ground. I said the ground.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like believe in something, and know that like there's a greater being. I
Mm-hmm.
want to tell you to believe in God, but I ain't here to, I'm not here to change anybody's belief. But with that being said, like you have to have your that in tune. Like you have to have that in tune within your day to day, your walk. Incorporate that into your business. Incorporate whatever you believe in into your business, and it will flourish for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the challenges, the success, what would you tell your younger self in the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey? Like, what would you say? Okay, if I was starting over, this information I would give to my younger self.
Uh, yeah. I think for me, I would say focus on one thing at a time. Okay, and I say that because I realized that I've always been a person to kind of like juggle a lot at once.
Mm-hmm.
And after a certain duration of time, it ain't good for nobody.
Yeah. It is not good for nobody. You cannot multitasking is not a thing that should be pushed, okay? It's not. And I know that we push it as moms because we are able to do that. We're gifted when it comes to that. But we are going to overwhelm ourselves with making a thing to where it's like multitasking is a way of life as a mom, as a business owner, as a career-driven woman. Let's
Mhm.
throw that out the window. Let's stop the multitasking and focus. Let's truly focus. Um, and I'm not saying focus to perfection and never get it done. I'm saying focus and get it out there, get it started. And then once you get that thing started, push the next thing out. Don't try to do 5 to 6 things at one time. Understand what you want to be known for in that moment. Like
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that too. Like this is the focus for the season. So understanding what I need to be known for at this moment. And then once this moment and the season is over, the next season, this is what the focus is, and truly hone in on that and craft that to the best of your ability. Don't
Yeah.
try to do 2 million things at one time. And like me and Donna said, we realized like from TGND, birth mommy hustle, birth the book from, but like these, so when you focus on that one thing, other things are going to be birthed from that one thing. We
Yeah.
promise you it will. There's so many
Mhm.
different avenues that's going to come about from that one thing you start.
Mhm.
How about you, Donna?
Yeah,
I have my thing, but when you just said something, I wanna say two things to my younger self, right? It's being okay with the season that you're in. Truly being okay with the season, because nothing lasts forever, whether it's the good season or the bad season. Knowing that, like, even if you're in a good season, it can, knowing, being, giving yourself grace. Okay, the next season can be, my season of lessons, right? I like to say lessons instead of losses, because I used to say losses, but it's like, no, what did you learn from it, right? But also too, like, as I became just more in tune with my spirituality, like one of my favorite Bible verses is Philippians 4:13. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. That's what I would tell my younger self. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and keeping that at the
yes.
forefront of the brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I want to add something to that. I want to add something to that because man, like another thing that I learned through this journey is like I was so much of a stickler about like my plan, right? And I already knew what my vision was. I already knew what my purpose was a long time ago, and I thank God for that, right? And some people don't know what the vision is, their purpose is, and they may be stuck there. But I realized with me knowing my vision and purpose that I was so much a stickler of my plan. What my plan is, sticking to it. I need to get this done. I need to get this degree. I need to go get this master's. I need to do this. And it's not your plan. It's not, it's God's plan. So one of the
Mhm.
things I had to really be okay with doing last year was writing down my plans for myself in a letter, and I handed it to God. Nobody was in the room. Um, I handed it to God. His spirit was there. I handed it to God, and I said, God, if this is not your plan for me, take it away. Because I've been so much of a stickler of going by the book, and my plan is going to work, and my plan is working, that I got so set on my plan. And it's like,
Mhm.
girl, one thing doesn't happen. Now,
You stressed
you
out.
stressed out, or it's like the worst thing ever. And it's like, no, it's okay because it's not your plan. And you can do it, like Donna said, you can do anything through Christ that strengthens you. It's God's plan. Talk with God about it, have him help you through the process, have him even if you're unclear on what your vision or plan is, ask God.
Yeah.
And you could do it. He will strengthen you. He will give you the tools you need. He will give you the words you need. He will you got to be there to listen, right? And there's certain things that you need to do in order to do that, but one of the things that you can start doing in order to listen is getting in the word, learning
Mhm.
the word, getting in the word, and talking to God about the word, and then that will show. But knowing that is not your plan, is God's plan. Yes, we have an idea of what we want. Yes, we can tell God what we would desire, what our heart desires are, and He will provide that for us. But also being okay with knowing that if it doesn't happen, then it wasn't meant for you. It's not the season for you.
Yeah, God is joy. God is love. If we
Yes.
don't feel that in what it is we're doing, there may be something that needs to change or
Right.
be pivoted upon, iterate, and work through that and find
Yeah.
your joy because if you don't find your joy in what it is you're doing, you are guaranteed to burn out. And it's the surefire way to know that you're out of alignment in some way, shape, or form. So that was so good. And just really tapping into the mindset, first spirituality, first God, and then the mindset before even going into, okay, what's my niche? How do I market? What's that social media plan look like?
Yeah, because God
Start
gonna
on
give you
you.
that. He gonna give you the niche. He gonna tell you exactly who you need to be talking to.
And you'll find love and joy and peace and like that inspired action. I say that all the time. Like it's inspired action that I take on those days, or I'm excited about it to stay up till 3 a.m. and get this idea from my head onto paper and then into action. So you really can feel it, and you know when it's right. You like, oh, like it, and it won't let me go. I have got to do this thing. So that's so good. So any final words, ladies, for the viewers?
No, I don't have any final words. I think. Oh, go ahead, Wayna.
No, I would love to speaking of mindset, right? And stories and strategy, we would love to invite all of the moms behind the brand that's listening to Moms Behind the Brand to our Mommy Hustle group, because we go live in there, we share inspiration, we collaborate, we network. As we mentioned, we had our first brunch. We have a lineup for events for 2025. We really want to get as many people in the group. It's a free group. It's on Facebook. We can share the link with you, Jasmine, so that way you can have it. But it's Mommy Hustle on Facebook. Mommy with the I, MOMMI Hustle. And in that group, we are just really wanting to uplift like-minded women like us, and to really so even if you're not a stay-at-home mom, because I feel like we are in the stay-at-home mom era too. We're mompreneurs. That is a stay-at-home mom that works, right? You just work with your child. And even that is a full-time job, but also just understanding, like, with even as a stay-at-home mom, there's still purpose in that, right? And how can you share that purpose with other people? How can you take that content, that purpose and that content, and share with other people for the masses and become an influencer? Because that's the way the world is going anyways, right? That's what social media is for, influence. So you being able to utilize that and to inspire and connect with other women, because we all are out here struggling, okay? Whether we want to say we are or not, motherhood is not an easy hood, okay?
It's
And
good. It is ghetto.
It's good. It is good.
oh, it is ghetto. So especially once you start adding multiple kids, it gets real ghetto. So being able to have those different women and moms in with you to kind of navigate that space with you is important. And even just to Jasmine, you mentioned something about your son having autism. You would never know how many other moms may have similar stories to you, and that's a healing journey in the process, right? But then also knowing that you're not alone, knowing that you're not the only one going through something makes you feel 10 times better. So join the group, get into the Mommy Hustle group. We really want to get as many like-minded, motivational, great women in that group as possible. Really, we want to focus on our melanated women, because I feel like there's a different added layer for us. Just being career-driven woman and being a stay-at-home mom, or being a working woman climbing the corporate ladders. We just have to go. We experience things a little bit differently. Okay. And that's being authentic and transparent. It's just is what it is. Okay.
Real.
So we want to get them in the group, and we want also people to join our workshop. Our PR architect workshop. We had a few clients. Well, so one of the clients, she had literally just did a rebrand. Her website over, her brand images, her graphics before she took the workshop. And she thought she hit all the she dotted all her I's, crossed all her T's, and she realized there's like parts of her story and her journey that she is not sharing with the world. She realized from taking that workshop after she did the whole rebrand that there's still things that she's missing from sharing with her and connecting and being able to truly connect authentically with her clients. And she has some really great ahas, major takeaways from taking the workshop. So even if you feel like you have your brand down pat, but you may not necessarily feel like you're 100% sharing the story, or even you may feel like you're sharing your story, but you still want to understand how all the different layers of your brand image with your story, with the messaging and your pitching, how that all aligns.
Go ahead and join the workshop because I think it's going to be really beneficial for you, even when it comes to just being able to understand your life experiences and how you can incorporate that into your business.
Where can they find it? I know you say you'll send me the link, but what's your other
So
social?
you can find the workshop at TGNDconsulting.com. You can find the workshop, and it's the PR Architect Workshop. The PR Architect Workshop, and it is you can join it and you can basically take it at your own pace. We had somebody take it at her own pace, dive deeper, and pulled out even more things. And it took her like maybe I think she said 3 to 4 weeks, but it was like it was a lot of stuff that she had no clue about, and it was really it really helped her craft her story, but also it allowed her to get a feature. So she was able to get a feature from that. So yeah, even with and I felt like she understood what her message was. She understood what her vision was. I feel like she also understood what the story was, right? But taking that, there's major ahas that you'll leave and take away from that workshop that's going to be really beneficial for you to really truly be able to share your own story, right? Because as publicists and PR managers, we craft the story for you. We help you craft your story, but it's nothing like being able to share your own story. You're the one that's telling it, right? We're not the one that's telling it. So being able to truly understand that and being able to speak it fluently is really important.
That's really good. You want to add anything to that, Donna?
As Dwayna mentioned, we have our mom community, but we're also on Facebook for our business page, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. We're getting more into Threads and TikTok because I think Threads is about to be where it's at for real. I love
really.
It's like modern day Twitter, and I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, but I see stuff and I hear stuff, and I heard is a crazy thing. So Threads is going to be the new thing.
The new one. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Dwayna, Donna, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. This has